Hi there, Year 3. Hope you are doing well. It is now Wednesday and it is time for us to go back onto time. So we had a bit of a break yesterday with some number work on our number bonds to 100. And that was just to give us a little bit of time to mark your time assessment that we gave you on Monday, which we didn't do any teaching at all for. We just wanted to see what you could do. And so you should have had the feedback from your assessment, and we hope that you were really honest with us, because we've now put you into 3 groups for your time topic. So you're either in group 1, group 2 or group 3, and we'd like you to follow that group now until we finish this time topic. And that just means that you are, after your assessment, working at the level that you need. So this video is for group 2 children, and so today we are going to look at telling the time to the nearest 5-minute intervals. So I'm going to show you a little video clip. You're not going to watch all of it, you're going to see some of it, and then we'll do some together before we go over today's work that I'd like to have a go at. So if I just share the screen so you can watch today's video. Just make it bigger if I can. And just have a pen and a piece of paper ready, because there is a little activity for you to do if I pause the screen for you, just to have a go at. So make sure you've got a pen and a piece of paper as well. If you haven't, just pause my video now and make sure you've got what you need in front of you. And then you can press play again so I can start the video for you.
Hello there. Today's lesson is about telling the time to 5 minutes using this type of clock, which is called an analog clock or an analog watch, of course. So a really useful skill that we need to have in our everyday lives. We can see here that we've got a time shown by 2 hands. And sometimes these hands are called the big hand, which is pointing to the 12 at the moment, and the little hand, which is pointing to the 4. Today we're going to call them the minute hand. The big hand is the minute hand, and the small hand is the hour hand, because the minute hand tells us about minutes and the hour hand tells us about hours. And we could probably read this clock from the work you'll have done in year 2. That's 4 o'clock. When the minute hand is pointing straight up to the 12, wherever the hour hand is pointing, that's the time. It's 4 o'clock. And of course, on an analog clock, we don't know if that's in the afternoon or in the morning, do we? And we can imagine there are 2 4 o'clocks in every day, but you're doing very different things at 4 o'clock in the morning compared to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay.
Just to stop there, just because we did a little bit of, we had a look at in your assessment how a digital clock would look. This is an analog clock. If we were going to write 4 o'clock on a digital clock, just as a reminder, the 12 there represents 0, which we're going to go over in a second as well. So if we were writing it digitally, we would write 4.00 to represent 4 o'clock on a digital clock. But we will have a look at that together in a little while as well.
So what time does that show? Well, the minute hand is now pointing to the 1, so it will be perfectly sensible to think that that's now pointing to 1 minute past 4 o'clock. And unfortunately, it's a bit more complicated than that. It's not pointing to 1 minute past 4 o'clock. What is it pointing to? Well, what we need to do, and how I tell the time using an analog clock, is I imagine that the intervals around the clock face is a number line. And we can see that there are 12 of them. So we'll start at 0 and we'll go up to 12. And it takes the minute hand 1 hour to get from the 0 or the 12, from the 0 from the very top, back round to the 12. It takes 1 hour to do that. To do that journey, which is a circle, it's not a line, it's a circle going round, it takes 1 hour. And the key fact to do with time is that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So we can see at the moment that our minute hand has travelled from straight up from the hour, it's travelled to the 1. It's travelled that distance. So it's not travelled 1 minute. But how far has it travelled? Well, you can see there are 12 intervals. So our calculation needs to be 60 divided by 12, which is 5. You hopefully know that from our 5 times table knowledge. So each interval shows 5 minutes. So when we have the minute hand pointing to the 1, it's not pointing to 1 minute past the hour. It's pointing to 5 minutes past the hour. So that time is 5 minutes past 4 o'clock.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it again there, thinking about a digital clock again, and we will look at this together. 5 minutes past 4 o'clock, we would write as 4, and then we'd have our ... 05 to represent 4:05 or 5 minutes past 4. That's how we would do it on a digital clock.
People don't often say it with that many words. People often just say 5 past 4. So how about this time? You can see it's some number of minutes past 7 o'clock because the hour hand is just starting. We can just see it starting to travel away, move away from the 7. It's nowhere near the 8 yet. It's between the 7 and the 8. And of course, that is not 4 minutes past 7 o'clock. That's the key thing that we need to be aware of. It's not 4 minutes past 7 o'clock. Let's have a look at our number line again. And that's exactly what we've just seen. But this time, we need to calculate not what one interval is, because that was 5 past when the minute hand was pointing to the 1. The minute hand is now pointing to the 4. So we need to calculate what 4 intervals is worth. Well, if one is worth 5 minutes, 4 of them must be worth 5 minutes times 4, which is 20 minutes. So that time is 20 minutes past 7 o'clock, or people tend to say a bit more briefer than that, 20 past 7.
Again, if we were looking at a digital clock here, we would write this time as 7 ... 20. 7:20 on a digital clock is the same as 20 past 7. Just to remind you, and like I said, we'll go over it again.
So over to you now. You've got 2 times to write down, and then question 3 is to draw on that clock face, or on a clock face you quickly sketched that time, 15 minutes past 10 o'clock.
Okay, so there's a couple there for you to have a go at. So if you've got a little scrap piece of paper, just have a go at doing these 3 questions. The first question showing you here, something minutes past something o'clock. Down here, something minutes past something o'clock. And then lastly, just draw yourself a real quick circle and pop your numbers on. The easiest way I find to do it is to put the 12, the 6, the 3 and the 9 on first, like finding the quarter of a circle, like that, and then put the other numbers in. So just do that really quickly now on your scrap piece of paper in front of you. If you want to pause the video while you do that, that would be a good idea now. Press pause on the video and then give yourself a couple of minutes, and when you're ready, just press play again. Okay, I'm kind of hoping that you've done that now and you've pressed play again. So I'm going to just show you the answers to those ones.
Number 1, the minute hand is pointing to 2, so that's going to be 10 minutes past. It's just got past 9 o'clock, so that's 10 minutes past 9 o'clock. So
the way that I look at it here, children, is we're starting on 0. We use our 5 times table because we know that the intervals are in 5 minutes. So we go 5, 10 past. There we go. And I could keep going around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, because there are 60 minutes in an hour. And that helps you. So just using your 5 times table. So here, if we start at the 12 at the top, 5, 10 past, 10 minutes past, and there's the hour, 9 o'clock. Remember, the hour hand is always the smaller hand.
Number 2, the minute hand is pointing to 5, so we're going to have to do 5 times 5, because each interval is 5 minutes. So we can see we're working with multiples of 5, aren't we? When the minute hand is pointing to the 5, we're going to do 5 times 5, so it's 25 minutes past 6 o'clock there. Okay,
so again, starting at the 12, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes past 6 o'clock. Now, if I was going to look at those 2 times, question 1 and 2, on a digital clock, this one here, I would write as 9 ... 10, 9:10, which is the same as 10 past 9, 10 minutes past 9. Down here, if I was writing it on a digital clock, I would write the hour first. 6 dot dot 25. 6:25 would be the same as 25 minutes past 6 o'clock, or 25 past 6.
Number 3, we have to draw this, so 15 minutes. So this time we'll be dividing 15 by 5 because each interval is 5. So that's going to be the minute hand pointing to the 3, and the hour hand just starting to move past the 10.
Okay, so there you can see we've counted, we were looking for 15 minutes past 10. So 10 o'clock is the hour. So there's the hour hand pointing just past the 10 o'clock. And then 15 minutes, the minute hand, 5, 10, 15 minutes past 10 o'clock. If I was writing that on a digital clock, I would write 10, the hour first, 10 dot dot 15, 10, 15. Now, because this is a quarter of the clock here, we can also say that this is quarter past 10, which you will have covered in year 2 as well, quarter past 10. So there's a few ways of writing that one in particular there. I'm just going to stop sharing the screen there. That's as much as I want you to see for now. So as you can see, we have got 12 increments on our clock, and each increment is worth 5 minutes. So we're going all the way around counting in our 5s. So if we have a look at a clock together, I'll just get one up. Sorry, children, I'll just get the share screen up. Of course, I can't find it when I'm looking for it. Okay, here we go. So I've got a clock here. Now you can get this clock up yourself as well. It is on Top Marks. If you have a look up here, Top Marks, it's called teaching clock. So normally if we were in school now, you would all have little mini clocks and I would have a bigger clock and we could all do this together. So it's a little bit more difficult because we're at home. So as you can see here, we've got the minute hand and we've got the hour hand just hiding down there. So if I just change this a full hour now. So my hour hand now is pointing to the 1 and my minute hand is pointing up here to the 12. So we know that the 12 represents o'clock. So I've got 1 o'clock here. And if I show you this on a digital time, like I was just talking about, it would look like this, 1, 0, 0. Okay, back to my clock. So if I'm going in 5-minute intervals, let me just go another hour actually around to show 2 o'clock. If I was going in 5-minute intervals, you can see each time I get to the main increment, the main step, I'm counting in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 minutes, making a full hour. And if you can see, my hour hand has actually moved from the 2 o'clock to the 3 o'clock because it's gone 1 full hour round. So if I just put the time to here, can anyone think about what time this might be? Have a little think about it. Counting in 5s, look at where the hour hand is pointing, the smaller hand, the shorter hand, and then count in 5s to find out where the minute hand is. So the hour hand is pointing between the 3 and the 4, so we say that that is 3. It's not quite on 4 yet. And then the minute hand, 5, 10, 15, 20, making it 20 past 3. If I was going to write that on a digital clock, I would write it like this. The hour goes first, 3 dot dot 20, which is what I was trying to tell you in the last video. We can go back here. Okay, so if I now switch it round an hour, let's see what the time is now. So it's gone 1 full hour on. So the hour hand is now between the 4 and the 5. It's not quite 5 o'clock, so we say it is 4 still. And our minute hand is back on the same number, but it's not 20 past 3 now. It is now an hour later, 20 past 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, remembering to count in those 5s all the way around. 20 past 4. And if I was going to write that on a digital clock, I would write it like this. 4:20. 4 dot dot 20. let's go back here. Right, let me find another one to do for you. So if we go to here. Okay, so let's have a look at this time together. So the hour hand here, the smaller hand, always remember the smaller hand is the hour hand, is pointing towards the 7. Or is it? Is it quite on the 7 yet? Or is it still sitting in our 6 zone? So if I just very slowly go down like this, follow the point. Is it on the 7 yet? Not quite. So we still call this 6. Now be careful, because the closer it gets to the next hour, it's getting close to 7 o'clock. We have to be really careful that we pick the right time. So this one here still sits in the 6 zone. Okay. So let's count in 5s to find out this minute hand here. So we're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 50 minutes past 6. Now, we're going to move on to this tomorrow. We don't ever actually write 50 minutes past 6, but we will move on to that. However, if I was writing that on a digital clock, I would write it like this, 6.50. Okay, so always counting round in your 5s all the time. So today, what you're going to do for me is you're going to have a look at some clocks. I'm going to just stop sharing this screen for a minute. Now, remember, you can use this clock online on Top Marks if you just Google it, Top Marks teaching clock. I'm just going to go in here. Now, you are in group 2. So you have got this document, okay? So it's group 2. Today's date, your WALT is to tell the time to the nearest 5 minutes. Now, these clocks here, I would like you to add the minute and the hour hands to the clocks accurately. So you're looking at this digital time. Okay, so if I look at this time here, 10:15. Okay, so that's my hour, 10. So the hour clock is the smaller hand. Where will it need to point to? And it's 15. So I've got to count in 5s to show where my minute hand goes. 5, 10, 15. Okay. So you're going to have a go at that for me this today, nearest 5 minutes. You'll notice that 4 of the questions have got stars on them. And that's because when you've finished all of your clocks and added the hour hands and the minute hands, I'd like you to have a go at writing just the ones with the star on. Can you write these times in words, full words? So my examples I've given you here are like 5 past 6, 9:30, 3:15. Okay, they're my examples. So if you're looking at this one here, 15, you may write 15 minutes past 10. Or if you remember what I said, that the 3 sits on our quarter past line, you could write it as 10:15, trying to write them all fully in words. Okay, so that's what I'd like you to do afterwards. Now, it doesn't look like a lot there, but you've got to be really accurate. And if you've got a ruler at home, it's always better to use a ruler to draw your hands on the clock, not these hands. The hands on your clock. It's really important that they are very straight and pointing to the right number. And then if you finish that and then you've written the 3 starred ones in words, we have also put a link on for you. See if I can get that up for you as well to show you. For this game here on Maths Frame. So it is just loading at the minute. So hopefully it will come up in a second. Just give it a minute. Doesn't seem to be working. Let me see if I can make it work. Yeah, I think I seem to have got it up there. So you've got this link here on Maths Frame. It's got a game on it. Now, Maths Frame you have to have a login for. So that is attached on the overview if you need it. So what I would like you to focus on is the read number 4, read time to the nearest 5 minutes. Okay, so I'd like you to have a go at that game. Now, I don't think it's going to let me share it and play it at the same time. So if I just you'll come to this option when you click in that game number 4. Leave these as they are, 12-hour clock and a timed game, and then press play. And what it'll do is you've got a timer, and it's asking you for you to say what this time is in a digital time at the bottom. So I'm looking at the hour hand, which is 11, counting in 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 11, 20. There we go. And then it'll give you another one. So hour hand is on a 4, 5, 10, 15, 4, 15. Okay, so the hour hand isn't quite on the 8, so it must be 7, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 7, 40. So you get the idea. So we've been over what the clock looks like and the 5-minute intervals. You have got your worksheet where you need to draw the hands on, and then you've got the little stars that I would like you to have a go at writing it in words. And once you've done that, you can come on to Maths Frame and have a go at this activity about the time. It was activity 4. So you've got a lot to get on with. I'm hoping that you're going to find that okay. Please let us know in your Zoom this afternoon how you found it and how you've got on. Hopefully it all makes sense, and I'm hoping that you will be great. In fact, I know you'll be great. Enjoy, and speak to you again tomorrow.